So we're here outside Taffs Pharmacy. We're going to go meet Taff, one of our biggest sponsors. This whole project is quite close to his heart, as we'll find out soon. So far.
How are you? See you.
Assalamu alaikum, Taff.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you for giving us the time to have a quick chat. Tell us about Taffs Pharmacy.
I'm a pharmacist, and I'm superintendent pharmacist at Taffs Pharmacy. And we've had our pharmacy for about 7 years. 2 years ago, we moved to this new location, this new site. And the primary sort of aim to move to such a massive site and such an upgraded level of premises is to improve the local community needs. There's a massive sort of requirement for our sort of demographic locally, and we've invested heavily locally to make sure that our local community has the best healthcare, especially from the pharmaceutical side, and we're here now for about, like I said, 2 years. When you own your own pharmacy and you're a local, you can make a difference locally. If you work for sort of some of the bigger boys, Boots, Lloyds, or so, there's only so much you can do. Yes, I fully sort of back all my pharmacy colleagues, pharmacists, they do as much as they can, but if you work for a company that's not yours, you're always under the sort of pressure from top down, somebody in an office directing how things are, and on the ground they might not be as agile and able to react to what the local population and their needs are. And having your own pharmacy, being your own boss in a sense, you can make those decisions that helps our community.
What sets Taffs Pharmacy from all the others then?
I've worked for other pharmacies before. I've worked in various different industries as well whilst I was training, when I was studying, and I recognise the number one thing, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, is your either here we call them patients, in the past it would have been a customer, clients, whatever you got to put them number one. So putting our patients number one is the most important thing to me. So all our staff are aware of that. And that is a testament to our success, is how busy we are, how recognised we are, and I think that is the most important common thread that goes through. It's essentially, as long as we put our patients first, which is what the NHS is about and healthcare is about, we will do fine, and we do that as much as we can. So our service levels are, we'd hope, that we always want our patients and customers to come through and make sure they leave satisfied and they're getting the best healthcare possible. How
does the community react to coming to an Asian-owned pharmacy, basically?
In the past, I was quite apprehensive to think, do we, because I'm Asian, there is a need locally, but can we say things like that? But it's totally in line with the NHS sort of directives, where we recognise that our community, sort of Asian, Black and ethnic minority, have a different requirement for their healthcare. We're at higher risk for certain conditions, certain issues, cardiovascular health being one of the main ones. That's why kind of you're here, isn't it?
Of course.
Having your own sort of member of the community, whether it's just from a local, like from Scunthorpe, or if it's somebody that's of an Asian ethnic minority, it does make a difference, because a lot of it revolves around just cultural understanding and language. Language plays such a major part. So we do have our first generation, even some second generation sort of ethnic minorities that still struggle with language, So we've had numerous cases where we've had, essentially saved lives, because people don't understand what their medication is about. They've been taking it incorrectly, they've been hospitalised, and it was something as simple as, do you know you're not supposed to take this once a day? It's actually twice.
Not being able to ask the question.
And it's probably pressures on the NHS. We don't always get it right because there's not funding, there's not enough staff. We're under pressure constantly, left, right, and centre. But having somebody sort of having that additional level of service, that additional bit that we can do a bit more, has been received fantastically well. Definitely.
Brilliant. So what made you sponsor one of your hikers then?
Well, so this is lovely little gentleman that is on the end of my street. And every morning I saw him eyeballing me on the way to work, right? So I'm like, what is that feeling? So, no, essentially, I've known Abdul Rahman for years. We've been neighbours for about 15 years, wasn't it? 13, 14, 15 years coming up to. And I've seen him when I was younger. And growing up as a big strapping man, he looked really strong, and then suddenly I've known you for so long, you've been so fit and healthy, and then suddenly to hear that, oh my God, Abdul Rahman's had a heart attack, where did that come out from? It was I guess close to home. Don't get me wrong, I actually see other patients, we see them go through this, and it's something, because we're around it so much, we know the outcomes are quite good, right? We know the treatment and what can happen, but it's been incredible seeing your journey as well, how you've gone through such a major life event, and then how you come out on the other side and what you're doing now, and it's quite inspirational, and it's something that's, again, the NHS 10-year plan's just come out recently, like in the last week or so, and it's all about prevention, so okay, you've had an event, but we want to prevent it from happening again, and nothing beats lifestyle, don't get me wrong. I can't say that too loud because my dispensary is full of medication. I need to still get that out. But laughing aside, you going out there, being active, being healthy, especially being of a ethnicity, Pakistani background, you're at high risk. You're doing these things. You're very likely reducing your risk in the future for having another cardiovascular event. So a bit of the eyeballing and a bit it's close to home, literally as well as metaphorically. That's what it was. And I thought, it's a real good cause, and we're all about community, local, definitely. And you're doing something local, so I really.
Fantastic, I love you. To have on board, mate. Yeah, brilliant.
I think I did go on one walk, didn't I? It was the first walk I did after about a long time. I was highly unfit, and it was the first time we did what was like an 11-miler.
How was it?
Yeah, that was. Do you know what? It was exhausting on my body, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
At the end, when you get back to the car and you look where you've been, what you've done, how long you've been out there, it feels like a sense of achievement, isn't it, that you've done it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You're doubting yourself every step, I guess, aren't you? Yeah. We all do it. We're still doing it now. We was on a hike the other day and was like, oh my God, when's this going to end? And then it ends and you think, no, a couple of hours ago I was this, I was feeling that, and makes you want to come out again, doesn't it?
No, absolutely, yes. I did say I was going to come again, and essentially, look, it does boil down to like being a farm, our profession. We're doing it's a business on top. We're expanding. We're opening another pharmacy soon, end of this month. Again, I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment, but you're busy, and that's the reason why I've not been able to go again. But honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though my body was exhausted at the end, and it's something that I really wanted to go and do again, so it was not only from your physical aspect and improving your health and that, it's just, with the lads, having a chit chat, it was such an enjoyable day. I'm not gonna lie, the food in Bradford at the end was lovely as well. We didn't do that, we were not supposed to mention that. It was all healthy, salads and whatnot, that was really good, so definitely looking forward to doing it again, but good luck with Ben Nevis. That's going to be the one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't make it that weekend because
it's come around so quick. 6 months in the planning of that. Now it's on our doorstep and thinking, oh my God, what's going on? What have we done? But inshallah, we'll see on the other side.
Just keep doing what that one walk that way with. I just think you need to get to like that camaraderie, together.
That's what it's about.
It's really nice.
Helping each other along, isn't it? Pushing along.
No, definitely. It's good luck to you, and I believe that you'll be able to do it, and it'll be fantastic seeing it on the other side when you're back down and rested and back in.
You sponsor this Ben Nevis hike then?
Yeah. So obviously you've had a heart attack, and that is something that we could have prevented, and again, in line with the prevention strategy that we're looking at the moment, there's services in all pharmacies across the country, which is called the hypertension case filing service. Okay, so what that looks at is anybody above 40, or if you've had a family history of blood pressure, or if you feel like you want to have a check of your blood pressure, you can go into a pharmacy, and the pharmacist or a pharmacy technician or a dispenser will be able to check your blood pressure and establishes that is it not, is it high, is it is it on the lower side, and what that can do is essentially identify if you're at risk of having a heart attack or stroke in advance. So we do this service at the moment. We've recognised multiple people have, they've got high blood pressure, but they didn't know about it. So this is a really good service that people can take.
So anybody can just walk.
Yeah, literally anybody can take it as long as you meet the criteria. So like I said, it's got to be over 40.
Yeah.
You can be any age really with the pharmacist's sort of discretion. But if you've got a family history like mum and dad, brother or sister have had high blood pressure in the past, you can go and get it checked. If it's okay, you don't need to check it for another year, a few years, that's fine. Yeah. But most people that don't know that it's raised because you don't have any signs and symptoms.
So how do we bring it to their attention then? Because this is very prevalent in our community. We suffer mostly from cardiovascular issues and cancer, heart disease, all these kind of things. They're more prevalent in our community. Yeah. How do we bring awareness to them then?
Yeah.
How do we direct them to this?
Yeah. So essentially, it's as simple as if they have not got high blood pressure, if they've got no diagnosis of that, that's one aspect. They can they can go to a pharmacy, their local pharmacy, they can come to us, that's fine, we get a regular use service, and they can get their blood pressure checked. And that's one aspect of it. The other aspects are sort of another area that we as a pharmacy are working on. We're a national leading pilot site for something called Pathfinder. In the future, all pharmacies will be able to prescribe. When you go to the doctors, they write the prescription, they send it to the GP, to the pharmacy, and we dispense it. I've been a prescriber for about 10 years, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that, nearly a decade, where I can write my own prescriptions. So we're a pilot site for, okay, you go to the doctors, instead of going to the doctors, you come to the pharmacy, and we would look at your risk for, okay, your age is this, you're male, you've got a bit of cholesterol, you've got X, Y, Z, we look at all these factors, and then we can decide, do you actually need a, high, I love your tablets, you take the statins, So you're on a higher dose now because you've had a heart attack, but you can take a lower dose to prevent, a heart attack or a stroke. So we are a pilot site where we're running a cardiovascular disease clinic where we can prescribe these things in advance to make sure we're preventing heart attacks and strokes. So that's kind of why, because it all fell in line with these services that we are providing. Our pharmacy specifically, nationally as well, the pharmacies are, but this pilot that we're running really worked well with what you're doing and trying to highlight this. So, it's a big issue in our community. We've got higher incidence of heart attacks and stroke than other communities. So we need to get the people in the community coming to pharmacies, getting checked up, making sure they're eating healthy, keeping active. So this was really, really important because it's something that I would want my own mother or father to be doing, making sure they're keeping active, make sure they're preventing it, and ensuring that they've got not only a long life, but also a high quality life, and these things all play a part. But that's essentially why I was really looking forward to being involved in this project.
Fantastic. Well, listen,
Lovely to see you.
Thank you so much, man. And we'll catch up.
No, definitely. Send loads of pictures. I'll be there with you in spirit.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
I'll tell you what, you can be with me.
All right.
You can be with me in material,
That's fantastic.
It's all right.
I'll have to pop that on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'll wear this.
You can wear that. I'll wear it there. In whatever weather descends upon us, yeah? All right.
Exactly that.
No, we're good.
Okay.